and welcome to Upon Further Review. I'm Josh Aubrey. Plenty to get to in this week's show. We have high school basketball from the Statesboro Blue Devils, Southeast Bulloch Yellow Jackets, and the Portal Panthers. Multiple games from Statesboro and Portal in there. Bulloch Academy, unfortunately, on the road, so we weren't able to get to theirs, but they were swept by Calvary on the road and then split with St. Andrews. Head coach Chandler Dennard picking up his 400th career victory in the Lady Gators game against St. Andrews. They've only lost one game on the season, ranked number 1 in the state. As for Statesboro High, they were able to sweep Glen Academy on Friday. Then the boys lost in a game where they were honoring the 1991 state champions on their 30th anniversary. They lost to Benedictine, their first loss of the season, dropped them out of the top 10. Meanwhile, for the girls, they were able to win against Glen. Both of them will be back in action on Friday on the road at Brunswick. As for the Southeast Bulloch Yellow Jackets, they were able to sweep Savannah High this week on Tuesday, and the Portal Panthers swept Metter on Tuesday as well. We'll have highlights of all those games. As for the Georgia Southern Eagles, been having to have some games canceled because of COVID. The guys lost their game last Thursday, but they were able to play on this past Saturday at home and were able to knock off UT Arlington in overtime in that game. Meanwhile, for the women, they were in action this past Thursday, lost on the road at Coastal, then had Saturday's game with Appalachian State canceled due to COVID issues with the Mountaineers. They were in action on Thursday night and unfortunately weren't able to get it done against Texas State. Lost in that game. It was back and forth, and they came back in the second half to end up cutting it to 2, but couldn't hold on and lost to Texas State. They'll be back in action against UT Arlington on Saturday. Plenty of highlights to come. Coming up, we'll take a look at the Eagles in just a moment. And a reminder before we go to break, hopefully you'll never be in an accident, but if so, please give our friends at the Sullivan Law Firm a call, 912-489-8888, or online at thesullivanlawfirm.com.
You choose the combination, and they'll cook it in their 500-degree brick oven in just a few minutes. Your own delicious pizza experience using only the freshest ingredients on hand-tossed dough and individually sized just for you. And that Eagle Nation is why they're called Your Pie, because it's all about you. The Your Pie in Statesboro and downtown Savannah is owned and operated by Joe Hunt, a Georgia Southern grad. So when you order your next pizza, be true blue and make it all about you. Go see Joe at Your Pie, and I guarantee it, you'll be glad you did.
McCooks Pharmacy, located on Highway 80 East, is family owned and operated by Lynn and Janie McCook, as well as their son, Josh McCook. Serving the Bulloch County area since 2005, McCooks Pharmacy offers fast and friendly service where the customers come first. Vaccinations are available, including shingles, flu, pneumonia, and Tdap. Drive-through service is available with 2 drive-through windows for your convenience. McCooks Pharmacy offers free local deliveries, and new customers are always welcome. Continuing the tradition of our family caring for your family, McCooks Pharmacy, Highway 80 East. Well, the Georgia Southern men and women both in action over the past week, but both had games canceled as well. The Lady Eagles played last Thursday and lost to Coastal Carolina on the road by 3 points. We're scheduled to play Appalachian State on Saturday. That game unfortunately canceled due to some COVID issues with the Mountaineers. As for the guys, they were scheduled to play this past Thursday against Texas State, but that game was canceled due to some COVID issues with Texas State and the Bobcats. They did play UT Arlington on Saturday. Were able to win that game, held on in overtime for the 1-point victory. As for the women, they were in action this Thursday at home against Texas State. Unfortunately, they were not able to pull it out, came back from being down by as many as 10 and cut it to 2, but weren't able to get it done down the stretch. Went scoreless the last 4 minutes of the game as far as field goals went, and then missed some free throws that could have changed the tide of that game. Let's send you out for some highlights of that game and go back and look at the guys in action against Georgia Southern. Finally getting back to action Saturday, hosting UT Arlington. We pick up the action in the first half, and the nice look inside to Andre Savrasov. Next, Getty Yusupaitis hits the 3 from the top of the key. The visitors keeping close. A big game for David Azor. He hits the corner jumper. Back to the Eagles we go, and Getty, the off-balance shot in the lane off the glass. And then he'll knock down a three-pointer. Getty finishes with 15 points. Again, the Mavericks fighting back. Brandon Talbot hits the jumper. The Eagles respond as Trey Cobbs drives in for the lefty lay-in. And the Eagles up 33-30 at the half. Second half, things start off pretty well for Georgia Southern. Savrasov hits the corner three. He'd finished the game with 13 points. Next, Cam Bryant for three. And then off the inbounds, Caden Archie will hit the baseline jumper. Georgia Southern up by 7. Again, back come the Mavericks. Azor would have a game-high 33 points. Getty answers with a corner three. And then on the break, Grant Weatherford will find Savrasov for the layup. Georgia Southern up by 8. And then take a look at the jam by Kamari Brown. This would get the whole crowd up on their feet. But the Mavericks end up coming back to send the game into overtime, tied at 65. Trey Cobbs with the lefty layup. Azor then looking like James Harden, the step back three. The Mavericks up 4 with less than 2 minutes to go. And then with 40 seconds left, Kamari Brown will answer for Georgia Southern with the three. He'd finish with a team-high 16. Just over 20 seconds left. Down by 1, and here goes Trey Cobbs, strong to the rack. Eagles by 1, less than 7 seconds to go. Azor getting the ball. He's off the mark. The rebound off the front rim, and the Eagles survive, winning by a final count of 74-73. The Georgia Southern women limbering up after a week off, hosting Texas State. First half action and off the miss. Taya Gibson hits for 2 of her 10 points. Next, Eden Johnson comes through with the loose ball, and she pops from the free throw line. A big game for Taryn Ward here. She hits the three. Georgia Southern up by 3, but Texas State roars back. They take a 6-point lead on the basket here by Denasia Hood. Georgia Southern coming back. Ward with the off-balance shot. And then the nice give and go to Simone James. But Texas State right back. Hood, 2 more of her game-high 32 points. The Eagles get a spark inside from Lydia Freeman. She hits this one inside, and then it's Maya Burns, 3 of her 11 points. More from Freeman. She gets the rebound and the putback. Georgia Southern cuts the lead to 3, but Hood again hitting the jumper, and Texas State up by 6 at the half. We move ahead to the second half. Janiah Love Hill, the turnaround jumper. Then the nice off-balance shot here by Gibson. And we go back inside to Ward. Ward keeping the Eagles in it as she hits another jumper and finishes the game with a team-high 23. Texas State proving to be too much, though, as they go on to win 78-74. Up next for the men, they'll be on the road at South Alabama. And next up for the women, they'll be home at 2 o'clock on Saturday as they'll be hosting UT Arlington. Stay with us. High school highlights coming up next. Family Internal Medicine Associates of Statesboro, providing primary care for Statesboro area patients since 1998, providing complete physicals, complete sports physicals, Medicare wellness exams, full diabetes treatment, and education from lifestyle changes to oral medications to insulin pump therapy, in-house dermatology, in-house circulation tests, and ultrasounds, and in-house labs. Featuring nurse practitioner Melissa Beasley, Family Internal Medicine of Statesboro can accommodate same-day or next-day appointments to serve your needs. Family Internal Medicine Associates of Statesboro, where we care.
At Badcock Home Furniture and More, we know what it means to find the perfect fit. The feeling of surprise. That just right moment of delight. It's what we see every time a family finds their priced right style and snuggle perfect comfort. Because for us, home isn't simply where you live, it's how you live. Badcock Home Furniture and More. Just right.
Plenty of high school action over the past week or so with the our area Bulloch County teams. Everybody but Bulloch Academy in action at home. You had the Southeast Bulloch Yellow Jackets sweeping Savannah High in a doubleheader on Tuesday. The Portal Panthers swept Metter on a doubleheader on Tuesday. They were also in action over the weekend as they were taking on Claxton in the first game for the guys that they've had their full squad in over 3 weeks. As for the Statesboro Blue Devils, they were able to sweep Glen Academy, a big region matchup this past Friday, and then the guys lost, unfortunately, to Benedictine, their first loss of the season. They lost by 2 at home on Saturday. Let's get out and take a look at all of the teams that were in action over this past week. Statesboro hosting Glen Academy Friday night. Ladies first, and it's Rhea Johnson going high off the glass for 2. Later, Johnson on the break with the layup. And then off the inbounds, a nice turnaround jumper in the lane by Madison Lee. Glen Academy keeping it close. A big game for Paris Smith. Statesboro answering after the block. Ashari Washington with the bucket. And then the Blue Devils work it on the break to Kaylee Wedlow, and they'd lead by 5 at the half. To the second half we go, and things start to get tight. Johnson buries the 3, and then it's Wedlow from the other side with the triple. But again, Smith bringing the terror back. She finished with 24 points. Wedlow catches fire from outside. She hits another 3. And then instant replay moments later, she'd finish with 14 points in the game. Next, Malaya Deacle, the hoop and 1. Kayla Page answers with the 3 to make it a 1-point game with less than 13 seconds to go. But the Blue Devils able to break the press, and Washington ices the game as Statesboro wins 57-54. Over to the boys game we go in a similar type game for the number 6 ranked Blue Devils. Leslie Black getting it done in the paint, the hoop and 1. Back to Black we go, and another 3-point play opportunity. The Terrors with success in the paint as well. Tyson Rooks with a huge game. Statesboro finding some success outside. Jarquez Garrett hits the 3, but Statesboro would trail by 3 at the half. Second half, and it's Black. He'd have 16 points and 11 rebounds in the game. Next, Tim Taylor corrals the rebound and goes up strong. And then Willie Ballard with the steal and the finish. Garrett getting loose and drops this jumper. He'd have 12, but Rooks on the other end, he'd lead all scorers with 24 points. Albert Michael heating up in the fourth quarter. And then a nice hook shot in the lane by Leslie Black. Statesboro by 3. That'll be followed by a rainbow floater by Garrett. Once again, Rooks answers for Glen Academy, showing the nice touch. Cam Michael coming back for Statesboro with this one off the glass, and then Michael again with the left-hander here. Back to Albert Michael we go. He'd have 16 points. Then Michael driving past the defense, gets the floater. Once again, Glenn responds with rooks inside to tie the game. Albert then from the corner with a big three-pointer. But Glenn with the answer as Quay Dickens hits the corner three to tie the game. Michael, staying calm, delivers another three-pointer. And then it's Jalen Michael getting this one to go in off the glass for a three-point lead. Again, Glenn with the answer. This time, it's Shane Payne from the corner. We're tied at 59. Garrett clutched down the stretch. He hits this one. Statesboro up by 2. Less than 2 seconds left. Glenn looking for rooks, but the pass overthrown, and Statesboro holds on for the 2-point victory. The Blue Devils recognizing their 91 state championship team before their game Saturday against Benedictine. Things starting off pretty strong for Statesboro. Cam Michael driving, and then it's Albert Michael ahead of the pack with the layup. Albert then the corner three-pointer. And then he'll drive in for the layup. He'd finish with 15 points in the game. Leslie Black chipping in as he gets this one to go off the backboard. And then it's Albert again. Statesboro would pull out to a 21-4 lead. Michael hits another baseline jumper, but Benedictine coming back behind the shooting of former Georgia Southern standout Hamp Jones' son Caleb. He buries a couple of three-pointers, and Benedictine goes on for the upset, 49-47. The Portal Panthers finally getting the whole team together as they host Claxton for a region matchup. Jay Odom stepped back and knocks down the three-pointer. Later, it's Micah Williams for three. Amir Jackson then inside coming through with the hoop and the foul. Chandler Grooms getting in on the fun as he pulls the trigger from the free throw line. Claxton not giving up. They fight back to take a 2-point lead. But back come the Panthers. Odom delivers another three-pointer. And then Jackson from the free throw line hits. And then it's Jackson shaking loose. He throws down the two-handed dunk. But we get rung up for a technical foul on this one. But Portal just continues to pile it on. Williams, 2 more. And then Elijah Coleman, the pull-up jumper. Portal up by 12 at the half. Second half, and they'd pull away. Odom thinks about the three, then drives in for the reverse. And then Coleman, the fadeaway jumper. Grooms again, this time inside for 2. And then a nice dish inside to Dorian Mosley. Portal up by 18, and finally it's Coleman with the hoop and the foul as Portal goes on to win 66-42. We move to Tuesday, Portal hosting Metter. Ladies first, and off the rebound, Blair Brannon with the putback. Things falling the Panthers' way. Shanisha Coleman with the friendly bounce as it falls in for 3. Metter cuts the lead to 3, but the Panthers respond. Brannon inside for 2 more. Next off the break, Akila Williams ahead of the pack. She gets the steal and goes coast to coast for the layup. Metter once again fights their way back to get within 3. But Portal able to hold on. Williams with the friendly bounce on the runner. And then it's Coleman dropping in 2 more as Portal wins their first region game of the year, 46-40. To the boys' game we go. Elijah Coleman will start the scoring. Driving past the defense for the layup. Joe Thomas next stops and then pops with the jumper. The Tigers hang around in the first quarter, tying the game at 14-all, but Portal with the answers. Coleman driving in for another layup. The Panthers then turn up the defensive pressure. Thomas the steal, and he goes in for the layup. More from Coleman as he gets loose in the lane for the layup. The Panthers pulling away as Coleman hits for two more. And then Thomas, three more of his 20 points in the game. Next on the break, Odom able to finish. Portal up by 12 at this point. Thomas stops and pops another three. And then on the break, it's Coleman for the layup. The Panthers up by 14 at the half. Second half, more of the same. Coleman to Grooms to get things started. And then Odom drives in. He'd finish with 12 points. Coleman next. The steal and coast to coast. He'd have 16 points. Thomas next with a nice turnaround jumper. And then we go inside to Amir Jackson for the layup. Then the outlet to Coleman. Portal with an 18-point lead at this point. For the finishing touch, it's Jackson with the dunk, and Portal wins 65-42. Southeast Bulloch hosting Savannah High in a region matchup. The Blue Jackets pulling out to a 5-point lead as Paris Washington hits on the break. The Jackets try and fight back as they go to Annabelle Morgan, who hits the jumper. A huge game for the Jackets. Madison Taylor here. She drives in and is able to cut the Savannah lead to 1. The Jackets right back. Ernaja Mallard hits, but the Jackets of the Southeast Bulloch answer with Morgan about the same spot. Trailing by 3 in the fourth, Taylor buries the three-pointer. She finishes with 46 points for a career high. The Blue Jackets down by 1. Washington makes it a 3-point lead. Again, Southeast responds. Taylor picks up the loose ball. She goes coast to coast, the hoop, and 1. And we go to overtime, tied at 47-all. In overtime, Washington hits another layup. Savannah High up by 2. They'd be called for a technical foul. Madison Taylor hits all 4 free throws. She'd go 10 for 10 from the line in the fourth quarter. And Southeast Bulloch will go on to take this one as Savannah High's desperation shot off the mark. Southeast wins 57-55. To the boys' game we go, and the Yellow Jackets come out a little slow. Savannah High would take a 6-point lead. Deshaun Davis the bucket. Southeast tries to chip away. Christian Clark knocks down the jumper, and then way off the glass, it's John Tavius Scott getting this one to fall. A.J. Williams later with the three-pointer. And then it's Clark spinning, and somehow he gets this one to fall and the foul. Savannah High right back. A couple of baskets by Sean Ruth, and they'd extend their lead to 32-23 at the half. In the second half, Southeast Bulloch pulling away. Vic Thompson hits inside. Later, it's Christian Clark hitting the three. Southeast in the middle of a 20-5 run. A nice feed to Ryan Reed. And then it's Clark for 3 as Southeast takes their first lead of the game. And then they just go on to extend it. Scott inside, hits off the glass. And then Williams penetrates for the hoop and the foul. More from Williams. He finishes with 18 points. And then it's Reed with the dunk. Southeast wins 74-51.
Statesboro High back in action on the road on Fridays. Bulloch Academy on the road as well. And as for the Southeast Bulloch Yellow Jackets and Portal Panthers, Southeast playing Groves on the road on Friday. then coming back home on Saturday night for a matchup with the Panthers. The girls' game starts at 6 o'clock. That'll wrap things up for now. We thank you for joining us. Hope to see you again next week.